All right, today we are cracking the code on something that could genuinely change your relationships forever. We're talking about the 5 love languages, a totally game-changing idea from Dr. Gary Chapman. So let's dive right in.
Have you ever been in this spot? It's so frustrating, right? You're giving compliments, you're working hard, you're helping out, buying gifts. You feel like you're firing on all cylinders. But for some reason, your partner still feels, I don't know, distant, unloved. You're left thinking, what more could they possibly want? Well, the answer might be a lot simpler than you think.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at why this communication gets so tangled up. Then, we'll get into this idea of speaking different languages of love. After that, we'll break down all 5 of them, help you figure out your own, and finally, talk about how to keep that love strong for the long haul.
So let's start with that frustration, because it's real. You are genuinely trying to show love. You pay the bills, you do the chores, you say nice things. But here's the thing, if those actions aren't what your partner needs to feel loved, it's like all your efforts are just getting lost in translation.
And this brings us to the absolute core of it all. The reason for this huge disconnect usually isn't about a lack of love or a lack of effort. It's because you and your partner might be speaking completely different love languages. You're sending out love signals in one way, but they're tuned to a totally different frequency.
So what even is a love language? Simply put, it's the main way you feel seen, you feel cared for, you feel loved. Dr. Chapman uses this brilliant analogy. Imagine someone from Britain trying to have a deep, heartfelt conversation with someone from China. They can both be saying the most beautiful things, but if they don't speak the same language, well, nothing really gets through. That's exactly what happens in our relationships.
But here's the good news. There's a way to crack this code. It's not some infinite, unknowable mystery. Turns out, there are 5, just 5, specific ways that people primarily feel loved.
That's it, just 5. Now look, most of us appreciate all of these in some way, but almost everyone has one primary language that speaks to their heart more than all the others combined. So let's break them down one by one.
First up, we've got words of affirmation. For people whose love language is this, words are, well, they're everything. Unsolicited compliments mean the absolute world to them.
Just hearing "I love you" or "wow, I really appreciate you doing that" fills up their emotional tank like nothing else. But, and this is so important, the flip side is just as intense. For this person, harsh words and criticism aren't just hurtful, they are devastating. They cut deeper than almost anything you could do.
Okay, moving on to language number 2, quality time. And let's be clear, this isn't just about being in the same house at the same time. This is about giving someone your focused, undivided attention.
What does that actually look like? It means putting your phone down, turning the TV off, making eye contact, actually listening to what they're saying. So when you're distracted or you keep postponing that date night, it's not just a minor annoyance to them. It feels like a fundamental rejection.
Third on our list is receiving gifts. Now, before you jump to conclusions, this has nothing to do with being materialistic. It's all about the thought, the effort, and the symbolism behind the gift.
You see, for this person, a gift is a tangible, visual symbol that says, "I was thinking of you." The price tag is completely irrelevant. It could be a wildflower they picked on a walk. But on the other side, missing a birthday or giving a thoughtless, last-minute gift can feel like a message that you just don't care.
Number 4 is acts of service. For someone with this love language, that old saying is 100% true. Actions speak louder than words. Love is shown by doing things you know your partner would like you to do. We're talking simple stuff, like taking out the trash, doing the dishes, paying the bills on time. It's all about easing their burden. And that's exactly why laziness or breaking a commitment to help them out feels like such a personal slap in the face.
And that brings us to our 5th and final language, physical touch. This is all about communicating emotional love and a sense of security through touch. And it is so important to understand this isn't just about sex. It's the simple things. Holding hands while you walk, a hug the minute you get home from work, a hand on their shoulder as you pass by. That physical presence creates security. And that's why neglect, or of course abuse, is just so uniquely destructive to someone with this language.
Okay, so you've heard all 5. The big question now is, which one is you? While you might appreciate all of them, one of them is probably your native tongue. So let's figure out how to find it.
Here are 3 really powerful questions to ask yourself. First, think back to your childhood. What did your parents do that made you feel truly, deeply loved? Second, look at your own behavior now. What's your go-to automatic way of showing love to other people? We almost always try to give love in the way we most want to receive it. And third, and this one's a big one, what has hurt you the most in past relationships? The thing that a partner did or failed to do that cut you the deepest. That pain is a giant clue.
Of course, knowing your own language is just half the equation. The next crucial step is figuring out your partner's. And there is one golden rule here. Do not assume. This is the biggest mistake we all make. We love others the way we want to be loved. The only way to really know for sure, you got to ask them, talk about it, or even better, have them take the official quiz online.
So, once you know your language and you know your partner's language, the last step is to turn all this knowledge into real, consistent action. And to help us do that, Dr. Chapman gives us this really powerful metaphor. He calls it the love tank. Just think of it like the gas tank in your car. To keep your relationship running smoothly, especially when you hit a rough patch, that tank needs to stay full. Speaking your partner's primary love language is how you fill it. But if you let it run on empty, eventually you're going to find yourself stranded on the side of the road.
And this all leads to what I think is the most powerful takeaway from all of his work. We tend to think of love as this magical feeling we have no control over. But Dr. Chapman's radical idea is that real, lasting love is a choice. It's an action. You can choose to speak your partner's language, even on the days you don't really feel like it. And the incredible part is, if you commit to the action, the feeling of love often follows.
So here's your mission. First, figure out your own primary love language. Second, discover your partner's. And remember, you have to ask. Third, make a conscious choice every week to speak their language and keep that love tank full. Because the ultimate lesson here is this: love isn't just something that happens to you, it's something you do every single day.